Worried about your drinking? Reserve your place on today's free Quit Drinking webinar and get a copy of my best-selling book, Alcohol Lied to Me, as a gift just for turning up. www.stopdrinkingexpert.com.
Woo! It's hot. It's hot. I'm back in Cyprus and it's hot. 40 degrees here at the moment, which is what, 100, 110, something like that in Fahrenheit. Also, I'm ill because every time I go to England, I get ill. That place is filthy. I've come back with lurgies and disease and the Black Death and everything. So please forgive me if I'm sniffling a little bit and feeling sorry for myself. I am, after all, a man, and it appears I have man flu, which is very dangerous, almost fatal. I've just done a COVID test. It's not COVID, so I've got some sort of bug from England. Anyway, the other thing to say is, sorry about the noise in the background. I don't know if you can hear it, but there are guys up on the roof working on the solar panels, so ignore that. You will hear various loud bangs at some point. Today, I want to talk about alcohol and relationships, because I got an email from someone who basically said, help, my drinking is destroying my marriage, but I can't stop. So, we're going to kind of call him N because he wants to remain anonymous, but this is the email he sent me. He says, hello, Craig. I've been contemplating writing you an email for months now. I'll try and keep this brief. I'm 48 years old, 3 young kids, one with autism and a rare lung condition. I had stopped drinking for 2 years and it was great. But last Christmas, I got tempted and had 1 beer. I thought I can do it. 1 drink won't hurt. That's why I always say the 5 most dangerous words on planet Earth are just 1 drink won't hurt. If you ever hear yourself saying that to yourself, punch yourself in the face as hard as you can, because that's the last thing you're going to hear before a very bad series of events takes place. So N says, now fast forward, 6 months later, I'm drinking a bottle of ouzo every 2 to 3 days. Now, where I'm stuck is my marriage is falling apart. In February this year, I heard those words from my wife that crushed me. I don't think I love you anymore. She's going through a lot at the moment, and I understand. I want to stop and stop for good. But I have fear this time, fear of more uncomfortable feelings, fear of the withdrawal process. At the moment, this bloody poison is giving me some relief at nights, but making me more miserable during the day. I would love your thoughts on this. And if you answer my question on your podcast, please don't use my real name. And if you don't get a chance to respond, that's fine as well. P.S. Without your YouTube videos, I never would have stopped when I did so. Thank you. Regards, N. All right. Tricky subject and a lot to go through there. Look, here's the reality that I've always said about alcohol and relationships. If you're a problem drinker, it has as much damage on your relationship as if you'd had an affair, if you have a long, chronic affair. Because the truth is this, when alcohol is in your life to that sort of level, I'm trying to speak above they're using some sort of angle grinder, I think. But when alcohol's in your life to a problematic level, you will more often than not do what the alcohol wants rather than what your partner wants. It's like having 3 people in the relationship. There's there's your wife, there's the evil clown. And more often than not, you will hug your wife and you will look at the evil clown over her shoulder. And you'll be like, yeah, with you in a minute. I'm just placating the wife. That's pretty much how it goes. You will make decisions based on what the evil clown wants, not what your wife wants. Now, here's the other important thing. Being a problem drinker in a relationship is almost a bit like being a schizophrenic, right? Because you are not the person that your partner met. You're not that kind, caring, compassionate man or woman that they met all those years ago. You have become something different, and it's not pleasant. You are selfish. You are not conscious. You don't appear to care. You're not present. Your health has deteriorated. Your body has deteriorated. You're looking old. You're aging really quick. You don't seem to care about anything or anyone as long as you can drink. You are no longer the person they fell in love with. That's really important. So look, N, when your wife said to you back in February, I don't think I love you anymore, that's understandable because you're not the man she met. If she'd met the man you are now, she never would have gone out with you. She never would have dated you. She certainly wouldn't have married you because, sorry about this, you're an asshole. And that's not directed at you. I don't know you personally. I know that when alcohol was in my life, I was an asshole. I was a crappy father. I was a crappy husband. I was a crappy employee because I wasn't present. I wasn't giving it my all. And more often than not, I was doing what the evil clown asked me to do, not what my kids asked me to do, not what my wife asked me to do, not my employer asked me to do. If you drink, you're a shitty partner. That's the reality. All right. So when your wife says to you, I don't think I love you anymore, what she's expressing is, this person that you're presenting to me now, I don't like. I like the guy I met all those years ago. So that's an important point. You've got a choice on how you respond to that. And, you can have a pity party and say, oh, it's terrible. My wife doesn't love me anymore. Why has she done this to me? Why? Or you can see it for what it is. It's your wife saying, this guy that you are now because of alcohol is not a good guy. I don't want him in my life. And this is your wake-up call moment, that you either do something about this or you lose your wife. And this is how the spiral accelerates downward. Because almost certainly your wife is putting the brakes on your drinking at the moment. Whether that's consciously or unconsciously, the fact that you know she doesn't like it is probably slowing your drinking down a little bit. What happens if she leaves? What happens to your drinking if she leaves? You know what happens, right? It's not a bottle of ouzo every 2 or 3 days. It's a bottle of ouzo a day, because there is no one to stop you. And the evil clown will say, well, hey, you're on your own. You're lonely. You're depressed. I can help you with that. And you fall for it. Because as you've said here, where does it say? Let me see. This bloody poison is giving me some relief at night, but making me more miserable during the day. It's an incorrect statement then. It's not giving you relief at night. It's teeing up the next day's misery. There is no good side to this, and there's no good and bad. It's all bad, right? Because you're drinking anesthetic at night so you don't have to stress and worry about the state of your relationship. And your relationship is in a state because you are no longer the man that you used to be because you drink the alcohol. Can you see how you've created a loop that never ends? And all it ends up with is destruction, because you've created something that just goes on forever until you lose everything. It's not helping at all. It's not giving you relief. It's making the problem worse every night. And when you're free of the poison, when you're free of the anesthetic in the day, you're then suddenly aware of it. It's not that the damage wasn't happening during the night. It's just you weren't aware of it. You see what I mean? There's no good side to drinking alcohol. Being unaware of a problem is not a solution. And the analogy I always use for this is, imagine if you went to the doctor and the doctor said to you, right, Anne, I've got some very bad news for you. You have a very serious form of cancer. We've caught it early, but this cancer will kill you within 6 months if we don't start treatment immediately. So I've got two choices for you. Choice number one, we start the treatment immediately. I warn you, it's going to be very painful. You're going to be very weak. You're going to lose all your hair. You're going to be in a lot of agony. This is going to be the hardest thing you've ever been through in your life. That's option one. But if we do this, I think we'll probably cure it. Option two, we can give you a drug now that makes you forget we had this conversation, and you can leave the office unaware that you have cancer. Which would you like, option one or option two? Nobody would choose option two, would they? Nobody would say, give me the drug that makes me forget I've got cancer, because if I'm unaware of the cancer, at least I'm having some relief from it. That's nonsense. And that's what you're saying to me, Anne. You're saying, when I'm not aware of how badly I'm damaging my relationship, I feel relief. You're not feeling relief. You're just, you're sticking your head in the sand like an ostrich, putting your fingers in your ears and going, la, 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 la. I don't want to think about it. Look, Anne, the reality is you're 48. This is the point where you grow up and deal with this. And I say that advisedly because I know no mature, intelligent man wants to hear another man tell him to grow up. It's patronizing, it's offensive, and I do it for that reason. I want you to be offended. I want you to feel affronted by it because I want you to take this seriously. It's time to stop the excuses and deal with this. And look, do the course. Don't just watch YouTube videos. Your marriage is worth more than just watching YouTube videos and having the good intentions to deal with this. Take it seriously. Sign up for the course, do the full course with passion and persistence. Do exactly what I tell you to do and do not skip anything, because I only know it works if you do it exactly like I did it back in the day. All right. So, that might not be the easy answer that you were looking for, but nothing worth having is easy to get. All right. Your relationship with the mother of your children is valuable. You want to keep it, and it's going to be difficult for you to keep it. That's how you know it's worth having, because you've done a lot of damage, and literally you are on the precipice of losing something very valuable in your life. Now is the time to take action then. All right. And it is about action, by the way. It is not about words anymore. All right. You can forget your words are worthless in the ears of your wife these days. All right. Because she has heard you say so many times, I'm going to deal with this. Don't worry. As soon as my birthdays, as soon as the vacations, as soon as Christmas, as soon as Thanksgiving is out the way, I'm going to deal with this. She's heard you say that so many times. Those words mean nothing. They mean less than nothing. So now the only way you can prove to your wife that you're ready to deal with this is through your actions and your deeds. You need to demonstrate to her consistently over months that you value her and your children more than the attractively packaged poison. All right. So step one, go to the webinar, sign up for it. It's free. Let me explain the process to you, and then get started on the course and stick to it. Passion and persistence is how you beat the evil clown. All right. Thanks so much for your email. If you've got a question, you can email me via the website, stopdrinkingexpert.com, and I'll do my best to make you a video and explain what's going on. Thanks a lot. See you later.
Worried about your drinking? Reserve your place on today's free Quit Drinking webinar and get a copy of my best-selling book, Alcohol Lied to Me, as a gift just for turning up. www.stopdrinkingexpert.com